I'm Peter Sidwell, welcome to my kitchen. Today, I've got sirloin steak. Nipped down to my local Aldi. I got a Wagyu sirloin steak. I want to show you how to cook this absolutely perfectly, so it is delicious. Then we're going to show you how to make some incredible chips with the air fryer, but not as you know it. They're going to be absolutely amazing, and they will change the way you make them. We're also going to serve it with a beautiful chimichurri sauce. Stick with me, it's going to be delicious. Right, we're going to start with the chips. So first of all, take your potatoes and we're going to put these in the oven. We're going to bake them till they're crispy on the outside and soft and fluffy in the middle. So all I've done is I have baked them till they're soft and squidgy and crispy, yeah? And that is it. We haven't done a lot other than that. So I'm just going to take them, put them on the board. And what we're going to do is cut them open, get rid of the steam. Because you don't want steam, because we want super fluffy, delicious potatoes. So if I cut that open, look at all the steam that is now coming out, yeah? We don't want that steam. We want rid of that. We want fluffy potatoes. So just cut them all open. And I think the best way to get your potatoes really light and fluffy is to bake them. If you cook them in boiling salted water, you're just adding more water. And then we've got to get rid of the water. Whereas this way we get dry, light, fluffy, but you also get crispy skin as well, apart from the ones that Emily's already eaten. So just cut them open. And I don't know about you, but when I'm in the supermarket, I'll buy like a bag of potatoes and like 70% of them are big jacket potato size. And then you end up with all these little piddly ones. This is the recipe to use up the little piddlers. Okay? So cut them open, give them time, get all that steam out, all right? And the more once you can handle them, just cut them into little pieces like that. Can you see that, Carlos, yeah? Yep. Just little pieces like that and chuck them in a bowl, all right? So it's a good way to use up your leftover little potatoes that just, they aren't big enough to cut into chips. They aren't big enough for jacket potatoes. They're just destined for mashed potato, or you'll end up chucking them out because they just sit there in the bottom of the fridge, wrinkling. Okay? So all we're going to do is just roughly chop them. You don't need to worry about the size or anything like that because they're all cooked. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to press this overnight so it's ready for the air fryer tomorrow. So a little bit of prep in advance. It means you can go to bed at night thinking, oh, steak night tomorrow night. Amazing steak, beautiful chimichurri. My chimichurri is stunning. I warn you now. I defy you to stop watching because it's so good. Never will you want a peppercorn sauce with your steak ever again. Nope. It's always going to be chimichurri. You're a convert, aren't you, Carlos? You like the chimichurri, don't you?
Before, but now, since I've tried.
Now I've taught you how to cook it properly.
Yes.
Or make it properly.
Make it properly.
Do you know what the secret is? Make it fresh. Yeah? None of that. I've been to Argentinian restaurants and I get a little side of green sludge. That is not chimichurri. Okay? I was watching. Have you ever watched A Long Way Up, Carlos?
No.
So Charlie Borman and Ewan McGregor going from Patagonia to California on electric motorbikes.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
It's really, really good. It's definitely worth watching. But the amount of times those guys were served chimichurri was just ridiculous. Everyone must just eat it in South America.
It's in Argentina and Uruguay, mainly.
Yeah. Right. We're running out of board space. So what we're going to do is get that into there. So once they are all chopped up, okay, chuck them all in a bowl. And then bowl onto your board and let's season up. So, freshly ground black pepper, good pinch of salt, and then we're just going to mix that up. Make sure that seasoning works all the way through. You'll still get all the steam out, which is good. More steam out, the better. Just wash my hands and we'll do corn flour. Okay. So I'll give it a little toss there. I've got some dried onion powder, which is just going to give us that kind of savoury flavour. Works really, really well. And then corn flour. And this starch is going to help it all bind together overnight in the fridge. Okay, so a couple of decent tablespoons of that. And then all we're going to do is just mix that round. And it's just going to bind the potatoes together and we're going to press it. And that means we can kind of cut the perfect potato. Then when it goes in the air fryer, it's just going to crisp up on the outside and be beautiful.
If you don't have corn flour at home, would you be able to use another kind of flour? Or?
You could probably use a little bit of plain flour, like wheat flour if you want, but you run the risk of it tasting a bit floury. Right. So you need to be quite careful. I wouldn't. I would just you wait and get corn flour. If you're going to do this recipe, do it right, yeah? Okay. So I'm going to do some cling film in the bottom. This is a 20 centimetre square brownie tray. Okay, so it's deep enough. And just line it with cling film. And then just grab your potato. I mean, if you need a bigger tin, use a bigger tin. It's absolutely fine. But what we're going to do is press it right down. And then tomorrow we'll cut it into portions. So it's one of these recipes you kind of want to make more than you need. You know, if you've got loads of potatoes or, you know, potatoes are cheap in the supermarket, get loads, do it all. Have jacket potato one night and then cook them all at the same time and then make this. It'll freeze perfectly, so there's no excuse really. And then once you've got it, you've then got it, haven't you? In my new book, I actually glaze these in Marmite, which is my personal favourite. But I thought I'd use the same technique for our steak night. So once it's all pressed down, cover it in cling film. Put a weight on it if you can, so it really presses down. And then we'll see this bad boy in the morning. Right, so our jacket potatoes have set. Look, we've left them in the fridge. Look, yeah? We're now ready to make these. So what you've got is this like solid brick, if you like, of potatoes, and we can cut them into whatever shape we want. Okay, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to make chips today. And they're going to be amazing. We're going to whack them in the air fryer. So all I'm going to do is kind of like cut some slices. And then we're going to cut those into sort of chip size, whatever you like. You could cut them into circles, squares, cubes, whatever takes your fancy, really. It doesn't really matter. And the good thing about this is we'll take that away. That is going to get wrapped up and that is going into the freezer for another day. So we've made the most of it. All right, whack that in the freezer for another day and let's concentrate on these. Look good, eh, Carlos? So I'm just going to trim them. So I kind of want them, I'm going to make my chips like that. They're going to be rectangles, okay? Maybe they're not chips, maybe they are. So we're just going to trim them. And the beauty of this is that everything's cooked. The corn flour's done its job. It's bound it together, so it makes it really easy for me to deal with. And it means I can do lots all at once. You could even put these on the barbecue, I reckon. They would work. Just brush them with a little bit of oil and just sear them. They'd be lovely. Right, so here we go. Let me just get rid of these trimmings. You could reform that if you wanted to, make another one. See, look. I'll just put that to one side for now. Okay, so air fryer's on. Just preheating. So I've got the tray out the bottom of the air fryer. And all I'm going to do is grab a little bit of oil. Let's just pop that in there. A little bit of olive oil. You could use truffle oil. You could use chili oil, whatever you fancy. Just, yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? We know somebody who'd like that, don't we?
Yep.
So just the lightest of touch. It doesn't need much because the air fryer will do most of the work for us. And then oil side down. Okay? so that the air and the heat gets underneath it, gets it all nice and crispy. Try and put a little bit of space between it. Don't overcrowd your air fryer. That's when things sort of go wrong. If you put too much in, I think that'll do for me right now. And then all we're going to do is a little bit of oil on the tops. And then they can go straight into a really hot, I reckon like 190 in the air fryer until they're really golden and crispy. You could turn them over if you want to, but they just need to cook on the outside because it's all cooked. Yeah, we want it crispy on the outside. So I'm going to drop that in now it's heated up. While that's going, clear down, we're going to make the perfect chimichurri sauce. Right, chimichurri sauce, super easy, absolutely delicious this. If you make it fresh, it will change the game, I promise you. So, red onion, you could also use a shallot if you want, but I'd steer clear from white onions because they're too strong. And really finely chop your red onion. The nicer and finer you chop everything, the better this sauce is, okay? Okay, so slice in nice and tight. Want it really finely diced. I can't have a steak now without chimichurri. I love it. And I eat it with all sorts of stuff. I mean, it was very traditionally with steak, but actually it's quite nice with a bit of salmon because of the rich oiliness. It's nice with halloumi. All sorts of stuff.
It's nice, full of stuff.
It is. Any barbecue you're going to have, get the chimichurri out. Make it fresh. Don't hang about. Get everyone to try it. Okay, so slice in red onion. Again, super, super fine. Really important. Good sharp knife. I always say, in fact, I said to my wife last night, she was using one of my sharp knives, and I was like, you're way safer with a sharp knife because you'll glide, it's effortless, it's easy, you're not battling anything. You just cut through things. So it is true, you are better off with a sharp knife. You're safer. Right. Okay. Our red onions in. Okay. Red wine vinegar. Let's get it onto the red onions quick, and then it'll start to pickle them. And that's what will break it down. It's actually quite strong, that red onion today. Onions don't usually get me, but... So try and just press it all down. Let's get it in that vinegar. If you want the recipe, go to petersidwell.com. That's where we're putting all our recipes now. Okay, so just go to the website, go to the recipe section. Everything's there in date order. As we do it, it goes out, okay? And there's tons of stuff on there. And if you want a signed copy of our new book, it's there. You can order it, we'll sign it, and off it goes. Right, garlic. Now, only one small garlic clove in this because we're eating everything raw. Garlic raw is very, very strong. Garlic cooked, different. Totally different, okay? So nice and finely chopped because you don't want massive nuggets of garlic in your chimichurri. You want a rounded, garlic all the way through it, okay? Honestly, this sauce will change the way you eat steaks. It really, really will. So fresh red chili, definitely my favorite. If you can't get it, use some flakes, but don't use the dried chili powder. You could add a bit of chili oil in if you've got that and not fresh, but if you can get fresh, it's definitely worth it. Chimichurri is all about fresh ingredients. Okay. Have you had Wagyu before, Carlos?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like it?
I can't tell the difference.
Can you not tell the difference?
Probably my palate is...
Maybe it's the way you're cooking it.
Probably. I never managed... The only time I really cook a perfect steak, my dog jumped on the table and ate it.
No.
It's the only time I felt like this is the perfect steak. He was a puppy, jumped on the table.
Right. See, I don't eat steak out because I think the best steak that you would cook would be the way you like it at home. And today I would just want to show you how to cook a steak properly because it's not cheap eating steaks. And I think if you're going to treat yourself, you know, buy a good one less often. But do the best by it. So we've got that lovely Wagyu there that you can get. Wagyu is quite easy to get from Aldi nowadays. And it is a nice beef. So I've got flat leaf parsley here. I've got rid of the main part of the stalk, but I've kept a bit of it because I don't mind it. And then just chop all the way. Don't use curly parsley, it's horrible. It's got a really weird kind of texture. Flat leaf parsley is much, much nicer. Okay, in with our parsley. And it's okay to make this like an hour before you want your steak, okay? That's okay. Now, extra virgin olive oil, in it goes. Like usually when you're making a salad dressing, you do 1/3 vinegar, 2/3 olive oil. And with chimichurri, it's pretty much the same. You've got that vinegar in there, so you want to kind of round it off with some olive oil and get that balance right. But ultimately, it's about what you like. If you like it particularly tart and acidic, then you put less oil in. But if you like it less vinegary, you know, you would put less in or a bit more oil in. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to grab some fresh coriander as well, because I love that. I like a bit of coriander in it. It's nice. I know coriander is quite polarizing, is probably the right thing, isn't it? Because some people love it, some people hate it. I love coriander. I'm only one in my house that does. But I quite like it. So you could add some coriander in if you like it. But I wouldn't add 100% coriander. I would always do like 50-50 or all parsley. Okay, right. In it goes.
You can smell it from here already.
Yeah. Love it. Little pinch of salt. Bit of pinch of pepper, sorry. Little pinch of salt in there. Not too much because we're gonna season the steak properly. All right. Okay. There you go. That is a super delicious, simple chimichurri sauce that's perfect for serving with steak. Right, time to cook the steak. First thing you need is a decent sized non-stick pan. Get it on full whack, get it nice and hot. It's so important. If you're gonna cook a steak, you've got a hot pan, okay? Second rule, get your steak out, let it warm up to room temperature. Don't take it straight out of the fridge and then cook it, all right? So this has been out for sort of 15 minutes. Let it breathe now. Okay. There we go. Wagyu sirloin beef. Okay, so what we've got to do is make sure that we get a little bit of oil on there. Okay. So you always oil the steak, don't oil the pan. All right, that's super non-stick, that pan. And then we're going to get plenty of salt on there. What salt does is it draws out moisture and it allows caramelization, okay? So if you draw the moisture out and then you sear it, that's when you get a nice sear, okay? If you don't add any salt, it just kind of, the moisture stays there, whereas the salt will pull it out, okay? Hot pan, salt equals a nice sear. So we're going to do the same again on this side. Touch of oil. There we go. And then salt. Now, I like pepper on at the beginning. Some chefs like to put it on afterwards. Okay, so we've got salt and pepper on each side. Where we haven't got much is there. And we want that fat to sear. So, pick up all your seasoning, yeah, on that edge and all over, okay? So now we're ready to go. You hear that? Right, let me exaggerate it for you. I've got some water in here. That's how hot your pan should be. Yeah? Test it. You can't hear the sizzle, it's not ready. That water's going to evaporate now. What I'm going to do is just put it in the pan and I'm going to hold it the fat side down, okay? So I'm just carefully holding it away from the pan at the top of the steak and I'm just rendering the fat before I even sear the steak. Like literally this is going to take 30 seconds. You could use tongs if you want to, if you're not comfortable doing this, and I get that. But but I'm quite comfortable doing it this way. And that's enough, look. Just seared off the edge. So now all we're going to do is lay the steak in, away from you, and then we're going to let that sear. Do not touch it. Go wash your hands, wash your chopping board. Okay, I haven't touched the steak, okay? It's really important. Leave it, the more you move it around, the less searing it's going to get. So if I now just turn that over, look at that beautiful sear. I'm now going to turn the heat down to about halfway, okay? And we're going to add some butter and some garlic. So I've got my garlic. That's all you need to do, crush it. We're not trying to make a garlic steak. We're just trying to sort of impair some nice flavours. I've got some fresh rosemary, and then we've got butter. And you don't baste it in butter until you've seared it on both sides, okay? So, what's that, about 25 grams? That's fine. Let me talk to you about cooking temperatures. Now, lots of pro chefs will use thermometers, and you can get one if you want. Dead easy to get. You want 50 degrees rare, 55 medium rare, 60 medium, 65 medium well, anything over and above that is well done. Okay, just going to put my butter in. Now what I tend to do when I'm at home is I don't use a thermometer. I tend to use this method. So if you gently place your thumb and first finger together and press that part of your hand, can you see that all right?
Use a free more in the middle.
There?
Yeah, perfect.
So you press that. That is what rare meat feels like. So if I do that and I do that, that's what it feels like. Okay? Then if I move it to the next one, that's what medium feels like. So it tightens up a little bit, and then well done, it's tight. The muscle is tight. That's what well done meat feels like. So rare, medium, well. And just do that. Okay? And that's how we do it. Right. Get a little bit of butter. I like to just move it all around.
I love that trick. It's that simple.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And then once you've got your steak how you like it, then it's time to lift it out. Okay, so that for me is medium rare. Bring it out. And there you go. What I'm going to do is just put my rosemary, just sit that on there while it rests. My garlic. You could add a bit of red wine into that pan and a little bit of stock, and you can make a beautiful red wine sauce if you want. But we're all about the chimichurri today. Okay, so I'm going to let that steak rest. Don't worry about it getting cold. It's not going to get cold, all right? It's just going to rest. If you imagine like you get into a really, really hot bath, you're just going to go like that and everything tightens up, okay? It's the same with a steak. If you put it in a pan, everything tightens. If you take it out, everything relaxes, okay? So it's just about letting it just relax before you then carve it. Okay, so let's grab a plate. Can I put my plate there, Carlos?
I won't be able to see it.
Oh!
Put it where the chopping, where the knife was.
Want it there?
Please.
Okay. I like to keep Carlos happy.
Thank you.
Okay, so steak still resting. All right. Let's grab our potatoes. Oh, they look good. Look how crispy and crunchy they are. So you could have cut these even thinner if you'd wanted to. Absolutely no problem at all. There we go. That's some good chips then.
I got my eye on the steak anyway.
Yeah, you're going for steak, eh? Right. A little bit of salt on those. Okay. Now, let's have a look at our steak. It is well rested. Okay? All I'm going to do is just simply cut it against the grain. And because we've rested it, it's not going to bleed out all those juices, yeah? It's not blood anyway. Oh, Carlos, you won't like this.
No.
It's not good.
No. Should have been.
Look. There you go. Beautiful medium rare. Let's just taste it. Well done, Aldi. That is a good steak. Onto the plate. There we go. And then our beautiful, fresh chimichurri sauce. Oh my goodness, this is the perfect accompaniment. It really, really is. There we go. And what I am going to do is just get that there piece for Carlos.
Thank you.
Always good to get the real honest opinion. There you go, Carlos. See what you think. Carlos will always give me an honest opinion on my food. What do you think? We good?
Way too good.
But there you go. That is how to cook steak night like you have never known. Beautiful, fluffy, homemade chips made out of jacket potatoes. We've got a beautiful Wagyu steak from Aldi and a cracking chimichurri sauce. What more do you want from steak night?